Hello children, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at home. Welcome to online classes. This side Khushbu Rijwani from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. Students, today I am here to teach you computers and we are going to study chapter number 4. In the previous chapters we studied what is computer, what are the different parts of computer, and today we are going to study how to use the computer. Name of the chapter is Learn to Use the Computer. You have to open page number 2424. Let's see. You are now familiar with computers. Yes children, you are now familiar with computers. You know what is computer. Computer is an electronic device. It is a smart machine. It makes our work easier and faster. Let us know how to use them. Now today we are going to study how to use a computer. You work on the computer only when it is switched on. You can only work on computer when it is switched on. So it is very important to know how to start a computer and how to shut down. So children, it is very important to know how to start the computer and how to switch off the computer or shut down a computer. Improper starting and shutting down of a computer creates problem. Now children, if we will not start or if we will not shut down computer properly, then it will create a problem, it can create an issue. Let us learn how to switch on and off a computer. Now students, we will study how to switch on a computer properly and how to switch off a computer properly. Starting the computer. Now children, steps are given over here and we have to follow the steps how to start a computer. Look at the pictures carefully and follow the steps to start a computer. As I told you, steps are there and pictures are also given here. One by one we will study the step, we will see the picture and we will learn how to start a computer. Step number 1. Switch on the main power supply button. What we have to do? This is main power supply button. What is the first step? We have to switch on the main power supply button. This is main power supply button. First we have to switch on main power supply button. That is step number 1. Step 2. Switch on the power button on the UPS. Now children, this is UPS and this is called power button. What is it called? It is called power button. And what we have to do in second step? We have to switch on this button. So first is switch on the main power supply button and second is switch on the power button on the UPS. Step number 3. Switch on the power button on the CPU box. Now children, you know what is CPU box? You can see in the picture, this is CPU box. What we have to do? We have to switch this button on. We have to turn this button on in the CPU box. Step 4. Switch on the power button on the monitor and wait until the computer starts. After turning power button on CPU box, then we will switch on the button that is on the monitor and then we will wait till it starts. Step number 5. Now when the monitor's screen appears as shown, it means that the computer is ready to use. Children, when this type of screen is displayed on monitor, then that means it is ready, we are ready to use the computer now. So these are the steps how to start a computer in proper way. Next is desktop. Now we will study about desktop. The screen that appears on starting the computer is called the desktop. Children, when we start a computer, the screen that appears on the monitor is called desktop. You can see this screen is called desktop. The small pictures on the desktop are called icons. Children, you can see small pictures over here. These small pictures are called icons. Next, the thin bar at the bottom of the desktop is called taskbar. Now children, the thin bar, this is thin bar, at the bottom means down at the end, this is called taskbar. What is it called? It is called taskbar. The button on the left of the taskbar is the start button. Now children, you can see a button over here. This button is called start button. This is desktop, these are icons, this is taskbar and this is start button. Let's see. Okay children, this is desktop, these are icons and this is taskbar. I hope you have understood it. Okay. Now, next step is shutting down a computer. Now, we will see how to shut down a computer in proper way. After completing your work on the computer, always remember to close it. After completing a work on computer, what we should do? We should always remember to close it, and to close the computer, we have to follow the steps. Closing the computer means to shut down or turn off the computer. Closing means to shut down or to turn off. This option closes all the open programs. Children, when we will close or we will shut down, that means all the options which we have opened, it will close all the files, it will close all the options. To shut down the computer, follow the given steps. Children, as we studied the steps to turn on the computer, switch on the computer, now we will study the steps for turning off or shutting down the computer. You can see pictures over here. Let's see. Step 1, click start button on the taskbar. Children, this is start button. This icon is of start button. The start menu appears. You can see over here, this is start button. First what we will do, we will click the start button and this start menu will appear. Step number 2, click shut down button. This is shut down button. You can see when this menu will appear, shut down button will be shown over here. You can see, and this shut down button, it looks like this on the lower right corner of the menu. This is the menu and this is right side and it is present on the lower right side. So, step number 2 is click shut down button on the lower right corner of the menu. So, this is shut down button and we will click shut down button in step number 2. Step number 3. Now, switch off the power button on the monitor. Now, after shutting down, what we will do? We will switch off the power button, the button which we turned on when we were starting the computer. After shutting down, what we will do? We will switch off the button on the monitor. Step 4. Switch off the power button on the UPS. After turning off on a button on the monitor, what we will do? We will switch off the power button on the UPS. Next, last and the most important step, switch off the main power supply button. After turning off all the buttons, in last what we have to do? We have to switch off the main power supply button. Children, do you know switching off the main power supply button directly without shutting down the computer is harmful. Now children, if we will shut down the computer directly, then it will create a problem in computer. So, switching off the computer in proper steps, it is very compulsory. Children, now when we followed the steps while starting the computer, what we did? We turned on CPU button, CPU also. But in shutting down or switching off the computer, we have not turned off CPU. Do you know why? See, when you turn off a computer, the CPU shuts down itself, because it shuts down itself. Do not switch off the power button on the CPU box. So, we don't have to switch off the power button of the CPU box. Okay children, now let us see what we have learned in this chapter. We learned about icons. These are called icons. All these are called icons. Next, we learn about desktop. This is called desktop. After desktop, we learned about taskbar. Children, this bottom line, this is called taskbar. And then we learned about start button and shutdown button. This is start button, this small icon, it is called start button, and on the start menu on the right side, this is shutdown button. Now children, I hope you have understood how to turn on computer properly and how to turn it off, because if we will turn off computer in improper way, then it will be harmful. Keep learning, keep studying. Thank you.